The connector on this hula hoop broke. You can see one half there, and one half is here. It's basically a stress concentration right here at that notch that fatigued over time. The component is this 3/4 inch coupler. The hula hoop diameter on the outside is 1 inch. This is a 3/4 inch for the interior. They use it for these hula hoops that you can fold up into a figure 8, but you gotta grind down these little tabs on both sides, and if you get a little carried away and there's grooves in there, they will create a stress concentration. They'll fatigue as you're hula hooping. Even with small stresses, they'll eventually cause a crack to grow and they'll break in half. So I have this side drilling action attachment you can get with a lot of basic tools, rotozip and Dremel here, and you can see it's got to be able to cut more than half of the connector length, since it broke pretty much right in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 sections out very close together from part of the connector, like very close together, and then break it out. So I'm going to break out like a small pie-shaped piece. Okay, you're going to need to apply pressure to the side, but you want to be careful not to tip the blade too much, or the drill bit too much that way or this way, because you're going to start cutting into the side of the tube, which you don't want either, or you could even cut right through the end of it. It literally only takes a few seconds of drilling. You can see the connector has been cut in small pie-shaped sections, been drilled out. Next, you're going to need a small screwdriver or some type of an instrument to pry that little section out of there. Once you do that, you're going to want to check inside there and make sure enough of it's cut out, and then you're going to want to collapse the connector inward a little bit, basically reducing the diameter of that connector piece a little bit before you try to pull it out. You have to make sure the cuts go all the way through, or you won't be able to get the piece to slide out. You may want to use a tool with a flat end that'll fit inside there so that you can try to pull the connector piece out. This is the second connector piece. You can see I just drilled barely enough to get through a section of the material so that the diameter can collapse and it can come out. The owner of the hula hoop will not want a rattly sounding hula hoop, so make sure you get all the plastic remnants and drillings that are inside out with a vacuum. It also goes without saying that you'll want to have a pair of safety glasses along with your equipment anytime you're using high-speed drills. Putting the new connector piece back in, of course, don't get carried away grinding the tabs off, because that's how it fatigued in the first place. You don't want to heat this up in boiling water. You'll ruin the tape, and you don't need to, because this is just a repair. It should all be formed nicely to fit. Start with just a little bit, like so. Don't put too much in either direction to start with, because you want to kind of make sure it'll even out towards the middle of the connector piece when it's completely inserted. Again, keep trying to walk it in slowly, because you don't want too much of it in going one end of the hula hoop and then not have enough on the other. And you need to make sure that you're not gripping it too close to the ends of the hula hoop, because you'll just be making more work for yourself. The other ways to fix this would involve cutting back from both sides of the hula hoop, so that you cut that section out with like a hacksaw or jigsaw or miter saw or the like. You want to make sure you cut it nice and perpendicular to the tube. But if you do that, you're going to lose your overall diameter of the tube, which is not necessarily good. And then you'll also need to retape it around the ends. Find a willing test subject